Good morning, welcome to another video. It's around about 6 o'clock now, as you see behind me, down the Y. Now, a bit of a strange one. It was a bit of a last minute session this, booked this a few days ago, because the river was lovely and low. I say lovely and low, I wanted to do, or try and do, a little bit of underwater filming. That was the plan. I was going to wade out here, middle of the river, put a camera in, see what we could see. Booked it with that in mind. I'm here with my friend Tony today. Now, there was no rain due in the meantime between when I booked it and today. However, they changed the forecast quite soon after we booked it. It chucked it down a couple of days ago. This river's been right up from the low level it was at, which is about 45 on the local gauge. It's been right up to about a metre. It's dropped back off now to about 0.7, which does mean we can still get out in this swim. But unfortunately, it means the water's coloured up. So I think float fishing is probably going to be off the cards. But as I say, it's coloured up, but we can still get out, fortunately. So we're going to do a bit of ledgering, perhaps fish the method as well, which we're using quite successfully here, and perhaps do a little bit of fishing shallow for the chub on meat. Baits, going to go with, I've got some, of course, halibut pellets. We're going to put better pellets down, put some hemp in as well, fish over the top, perhaps, as I say, with a method feeder or with standard running ledger rig. That's the plan, and perhaps a boilie bait on there, or again, pellet on the hook. Right, that's probably enough waffle, isn't it? Let's get out here and have a crack. So here we are out in the river. I was hoping we could get out a little bit further, but we're getting quite high up on the waders here, so we might be able to get out. It's dropping, so we might be able to get out a bit further, perhaps just to the end of this willow here, you can see, because what I found in here, if you don't get out past the willow, the canoes come really close. So that's obviously a problem, but if they can see you, they generally stick to the other side. So, gear-wise, I've got my Down at Infinity Evo £1.75 test gear rod, GSBR LT 3000 reel there. I'll stick all the information, all this stuff, down in the description, and I'll link you to a video of how I tie this up. This is my setup that I can use on the method and on standard running ledger rig. I'm going to go on the method, I think. It's been great fun fishing the method this year down here on the Y. Get some immense bites. I had some great sport as well. So big ESP mega method feeder on here. I'm going to go with some ground bait first, just purely because I've got it already mixed up. Some dynamite krill method mix. We'll go with that first. Pellet on the hook. We'll see how we get on.
You're putting it about halfway out, are you?
Yeah, it doesn't really need to be that far, I don't think. We'll just chuck it and see, really. Oh, God, blimey, that's...
Where are these rocks? Were they further over than that?
That's too far, that's bouncing around like crazy, that is. It's not even holding. Let's go a bit closer. Let's try that. Just while it's rattling through, I think that was just too far. I'll pay a little bit of a light now.
I remember that's really clear, isn't it, down that centre?
Yeah, it's not too bad down there. Because there's a bit of a snag pit in here, isn't it? It can be. Right, look. There we go. See what I mean about it being quick? Oh God, we're in straight away, first cast. Feels like a chub. Can be very quick on the method. Just straight on it. Straight on the bait.
Unbelievable.
Well, he's no monster, but he'll do. That's a good start, isn't it? Well, how's about that first cast? Absolutely fantastic. Got some war wounds on his fins. Looks like spawning damage, but yeah, that's a cracking start. Go on, chap, back you go. What I found is as well, if you don't get bites within about 2 minutes, you're probably snagged. That's what I found. Yeah, right. But sometimes you get a load of bites and then it stops. And I think they've knocked the feeder into a snag. That'll be on then. Oh. Ow. how they do that. That's what I'd like to know. Clang, clang, clang. Oh, it's not on. Well, I've had.
Or is it just in the case?
No, I've had days on here where they just hit the method feeder, they're just going crazy for it and catch loads. And other days I do it for a bit and then I'll stop. And by putting a long hook link on, you'll catch them. You'll carry on catching.
Yeah.
Worth mentioning, it's only about 4 foot deep out there, something like that. It's just a little bit too deep with this much water on to get out there and get the camera in place. Plus there's not enough clarity either. I did fancy doing a bit of underwater filming here because there's lots of barbel and chub resident in this swim. They certainly seem to be anyway. They seem to be resident. They're always here. Found doing this, using the method, striking it, thumps is not the way to go. Waiting for that is the way to go. I think this is another chub. I'm just waiting for it to go over. Certainly seems the best method when fishing the method. There's a lot of sort of smaller fish out there that are battering away at the feeder. It's often a bit counterproductive to just keep striking all the time. Putting up a good scrap in this flow though. Smaller one this time. Still a nice fish. Right, we'll have one more cast and then we'll let Tony have a crack. Putting a bit of a boa line out, just as there's a bit of water on. And obviously the method feeder is not really designed for sitting out in the middle of a river. So it's not the grippiest thing. That's bouncing around a bit. We don't want that. Want it to stay put, otherwise it's going to end up in a snag. Now we've got a nice day due weather-wise. A little bit overcast, possibly a few showers early afternoon. It's going to get very, very windy. Although you wouldn't believe it at the moment, it's not a breath of wind. Might go and try a few swims today, a few different swims, but probably going to concentrate mostly on this one. I think we're going to share this swim for most of the day. Well, we've had a reasonable start. We've had a few chub, nice ones as well, on the method, but it's not going crazy, I have to say. We've been firing a few bits of meat in. We've got some chub going off the top, taking meat, so I might perhaps go on the waggler before too long and have a go. It was a bit of a chilly night last night. I think that's not helped, and I wonder if this water that's gone through is a bit cold. It's certainly not warm stood in here at all. I'm very much thinking about putting my thermals on underneath my waders. I say they are resident in this swim, but they do tend to stick over that far side and across that way in some big boulders that are down there, and sort of when you're doing this, you can't really cast over there. You have to kind of get them out and get them moving, get them feeding. I think when the canoes start moving, it will help. Get some canoes going through. I think that'll help to push the fish about a little bit. Get plenty of bangs and taps and rattles. Right, just change things up a little bit. Just slid the feeder up the line. So we've got about 18-inch hook link, something like that. Just to see if that makes a difference. Wondering if perhaps, as I say, the barbel maybe just backing off the feeder. To see if it does anything. I've just paste wrapped the pellet. Just see if that does anything. I'll give that 5 minutes. Still left the method feeder on. I could have changed to a normal feeder, but I've left the method feeder on. That's on straight away. Something's grabbed hold of that. It feels like a chub again. Some head knocks. It's just kind of holding there. I left it for a second. I thought, oh, it is a chub. I thought perhaps it had picked up the method feeder. He's gone straight onto that pellet. God, I felt like a real decent fish. Oh, it looks like he weeded me up. There's a bit of weed on the line. He's an absolute tiddler. Oh no, he's not that small. Thought it was a real small one then. It's difficult to see with the sun up there, reflecting. I mean, that was a bit short. Never mind. It's the sort of line I've been bait dropping some bait in. I think it might be worth putting a bit more in actually. I didn't go too mad this morning, so I wasn't sure exactly what we were going to be faced with. Perhaps we'll put a bit more in shortly. That'll be on, won't it? Blimey. Wow, perhaps they are backing off the feeder a little bit. Oh, this feels a bit more solid. Oh, I think this might be a barbel. I think this might be the bite we've been waiting for. God, he's trying to get back over to those rocks. I can't give him any more line. Well, it just shows you changing things up. Oh, it's all coming in now. No, I think this must be a barbel. Yeah, this is no chub. So they are out and about, and we're just doing the wrong thing. I think it's a barbel. Yeah, he's still taking line, must be. Tony's gone for a walk. Give him a shout. I think it's a barbel anyway. I've not actually seen it. Ah, looks like it. Yeah. He's putting a bit of a fight if it's a chub. Got him. Off the mark. Fab. Thanks, mate. Slid it down. Well, slid it up. Well, you can see how long it's been in. And I'll just paste wrap that pellet. Bang. Well, there we are. First one of the day. Hopefully many more to follow. That's fantastic. Cracking start, and just a little change of tactics, which I'll show you shortly. It's done the trick. He certainly wants to get back over in those rocks. Right, being the summer, we won't keep him out. We'll give him another rest and we'll get him back. Right, he's had a good rest. We'll get him back. He's probably going to soak me in the process. Just make sure he's ready to go. Yeah, it's very lively. Gone. Fantastic. So just to explain what I've done, obviously we were fishing the method before, where we had the nice short hook link and the pellet in the method mixer, and you see how long that method feeder was in the water before we got that bite. What I've done is, because this tulip bead that holds the feeder is locked in place by a couple of stops, what I've done is just slid them at the line and fishing with a sort of more standard way with sort of 2 foot hook link. It seems like just I'm catching that one barbel and plenty of chub this morning. The chub attacking the feeder, the barbel were just perhaps hanging back a bit, so we'll bear that in mind for the rest of the day. We'll keep ringing the changes, and whatever's working, obviously, we'll keep going with. Right, we'll have another crack. Tony's just going to go and set up his standard feeder stuff. I'm just going to have another cast while he does. Blimey, there's a salmon leaping out down there. Yeah, ringing the changes perhaps is the order of the day. We'll certainly change things up, obviously as and when we need to. It's just that getting that feeling for, you know, it's We know there are fish here. It's just one of those things, if it's not working, you know, change it up. Just nice and versatile as well with that running ledger rig that I've got there that I use in the method, fishing the method pendulum style. And I say I've linked you into that other video where you can see exactly how I set this up. Makes it very adjustable very, very quickly just by sliding those couple of line stops about with that feeder. I also could change hook links as well if I wanted to fish a boilie. Could just change hook links, do that nice and quickly as well. I've already had a thump on here. Do like holding the rod as well. You can feel a lot of bites that you don't actually see. That's on, isn't it? Oh, is that not on? It's quite hard striking as well with the rod up so high. Obviously it needs to be up high because of the water. And obviously getting out here in the water makes things a lot easier. Fishing wise, although it's proper chilly. Blimey. Well, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to put my thermals on. I keep putting it off because it's a bit of a major job to completely strip off. I think I'm going to have to do it. God, blimey. So, you know, I think they're attacking the feeder again now. I'm kind of wishing the pellet was in the feeder. Sure, that was a feeder bite. Perhaps as they get on the feed more and more and we build the swim, perhaps it will be a case of them starting to attack the feeder as they get more competitive. There we go. All right. Well, I thought that was a chub then. I think it is. Is it? Oh, I don't know. Maybe not. No, I think this is a chub. It's literally been 5 minutes since we had that last one. He's off. He's off. He's off. No, you're not going in those rocks. I think I might need your help again, mate.
Oh, you in again?
Yeah. He just stripped a load of line off me, so I think it must be a barbel. And he's just out in the flow now, I can't move him. I'm trying to get him away from those rocks. This feels a better fish, this does. Can't do anything with him at the moment. He feels like he's trying to get in those rocks. Trying to give him a bit. Get him out. I think he's got in those boulders.
Snagged you?
I think the feeder's snagged. We're down the stream, see if we can free him. I can feel him. It's really weird because it's moving. Yeah, it's free now, I think. Just that different angle on him. It's right in here, so it must be free. Weird, that's very, very weird sensation. I think the feeder was jammed, and they've got it out. But it's right in here now. That's a bit of a weird one. Feels a decent fish, blimey. Charged off of those rocks again, as you saw. I think he got the feeder jammed in one of the rocks. I just couldn't move it. I've gone downstream and We've got him moving again. And he's just trudging in here now. Not doing a lot at all, but it feels very heavy.
Ooh, big fish.
Is it?
Yeah.
It feels really heavy.
Oh, he's nice.
Oh, that's a decent one, isn't it? Oh, sorry, mate. This is a decent fish. No wonder he felt heavy over there. Got him. Well done, mate. Cracking bit of netting. That's a cracker. That's a lump, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, how's about that? Just put him on the scale, so I thought he looks up around double, but he's not quite. He's just over 9.5, so I'll settle for that. What a scrap. Absolutely cracking. What a cracking fish. It's absolutely wonderful. Absolutely epic. Just a little change in tactics, as I just showed you. And we've gone from no barbel to 2 barbel in about less than 10 minutes. So hopefully that will continue. It's clouded over as well, which is good for the fishing too. Fantastic. Right, we won't keep him out. We'll give him another rest up. We'll get him back. Fantastic. So I'm out as far as I dare, really, in this depth of water, just to get him out in the flow, nose up into the flow. Obviously, there's good flow through this mesh. It's a big mesh on this net. He's certainly raring to go, but we'll keep him for a minute or so longer. Just make sure he's 100% as the river is pushing through a little bit. That's absolutely cracking. Biggest barbel I've had from this swim for quite a long time, possibly ever. I had the odd 9 before out of here, but not a decent 9, big 9 like that. Right, he's had a good rest. Get his nose out of the net. I'm sure he's ready to go. If we can get his nose out of the net. There he goes. Fantastic. Yay!
Ooh, hello.
Oh, wakey wakey. Ooh. I'm going to go down here. I don't want to lose my teeth.
Might not be a chub. Don't know.
He headed off across there.
Oh yeah, he is proper fun.
Yeah, this is not a chub, is it?
No.
Fab. That's what we like. Feels a better fish, or seems a better fish, I should say.
Very angry at the beginning.
Charged off, didn't he? I've not even seen the feeder yet. Just hug the bottom, don't they? I mean, it's right here. It's not far off my feet.
He's right under the water.
It's because there's a big boulder down there as well. I don't think they can like snag you up, but there's the feeder. How long's your uplink? A couple of foot. Yeah. Bye bye. See you then. If it was clearer, I could probably get him. He's right here. Well, I'm not going to scoop at him. Not when I can't see him. Oh, that's a decent fish, mate, that is. That's a decent fish. Sorry. Oh, it's only small.
Scooped.
That's a tank. Another absolute lump. Well, cracking fish. Absolutely wonderful. And your biggest barbel since you're about 15?
Yeah.
How's about that? Wonderful. We say 8 3/4?
Yeah.
8 12. Absolutely fantastic. Lovely job. Nice one, mate.
Try and get him near the top.
You don't want to leave. Well, as you can see, I have moved. Come for a bit of a wander. Just grabbed a few bits of kit, essentials, and come down to a swim. We're about, I don't know, quarter of a mile downstream from Tony, something like that, from the swim we've been in. Just thought it was worth trying a few other swims, just because it's gone so quiet in the swim we're in. Hardly getting anything even on the method or standard ledger, just getting nothing's happening at all. So I just thought it was worth giving something else a go. So here we are. I'm going to use a standard ledger and perhaps the method as well. Just see if we get any interest, really. That's the idea. I've had fish out of this swim in the past, but only when there's a bit more water on than this. So by a bit more, I mean about half a metre more generally fishing here. But you never know. It's got to be worth a go, hasn't it? So we're back in the original swim, as you can see. I think we're going to give it, it's gone 5 now, it's probably about 5:30. I'm going to give it perhaps an hour and a half in here, see if anything happens whilst I've been away in that other swim. Tony's barely had a knock, so we might give it perhaps an hour and a half in here, and then see how things are. We'll perhaps have a move back to that swim that I've just been in. There's clearly some fish there, albeit chub. I've had barbel there in the past, but only when there's more water on. Bit low to leave the swim because we know there are barbel here. They're resident in this swim, so we do know they're here, but you know, if they're not having it, they're not having it. So we'll play it by ear, I think, for the next hour and a half. So it's around about 6:30. Last push. I think we decided to stay here. We started getting some bites again, albeit off chub. So given that the chub seems to be on the munch as well, we're just putting a sort of half dozen bait droppers of bait in, sort of 4 pellets and 2 hemp, and I think we'll call that all the bait in for the day, apart from obviously what goes in through the feeders. It's been quiet this afternoon, very quiet, and obviously very quiet on the barbel front as well. I had a sniff of one since late morning. Alright, Tony's just had a go on a normal ledger with a pellet on a hook, and he's had one chub and lost one. So I'm going to go on the method, just see what that does. They did see, when he's fishing the standard feeder, loads of bangs and taps and rattles, and we're pretty convinced they were smashing the feeder. So we'll see if they do on this cast, because I'm on the method. Hoping we can pick up a barbel or two, perhaps a barbel each before we go, would be nice. Alright, that'll be on there. Literally just looked round. Blimey. Went off that fiercely, it's my clutch on the front was spinning. No. I think it's a chub. You had me wondering for a minute, but I think he is. Yeah, it's kiting in. I've been going for a minute. Finger caught on the clutch, and as the spool was spinning, it was unscrewing the clutch. It's certainly been the method has been the method for the chub today. I was going to say he's not that big, but actually, look at the size of his mouth, he's a decent fish. Come on, I'll pick you up. cracking. How's about that? Wonderful. Pellet in the corner of the mouth. Well, if I can catch a barbel on the method today, it will be the first time I haven't caught one on the method since I started using it here several sessions ago. Time to put that right yet though. That's all. So's the bait runner. Well, it's certainly working. Oh, he's off. He's dropped off. You in? Of course you are, just got out of the water. Barbel, barbel, barbel. Yay.
I did think it was a bit.
Well, that's good. They're out and about again. Great stuff.
You can tell, can't you? You just get that. But then you just have that little bit of uncertainty whether it's just a chub pretending to be hard. Scrapper, this one.
He is, isn't he? He ain't giving up at all. Got him.
You just swam into that.
He's really pale.
Yeah.
Real pale looking one. Well, it's been a bit of a gruel of an afternoon, hasn't it? Loads and loads of chub, no barbel. And now this one is an absolute scrapper. It's giving you a right beating. Fantastic. Hopefully, come on the feed. Fingers crossed. That's one, mate. Cracking. Well, I'm going to call it a day there. Still a little bit of light in the sky, as you can see. The fish are jumping, as you can probably hear as well. It's a, yeah, very enjoyable day. It's been a long day. I'm absolutely exhausted, but been a cracking time. And yeah, biggest barbel I've had on the Y for quite a long time. I can't remember when last time I had one above 9.5 pounds. So yeah, I was really pleased with that. And biggest one Tony's had for many, many years. So yeah, he's very pleased as well. Absolutely fantastic day. Now, I will be out again in the week, a bit nearer to home. We'll perhaps do a little bit of small river fishing. We'll just have to see what conditions are like. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Tight lines, enjoy your own angling. Many thanks to the channel patrons for your fantastic support. And I'll see you again very soon.